Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. So, here we are on the 30th of November. If you're watching this live, and tomorrow is the 1st of December. That's when the Christmas season officially starts in Vicky Marie chats. I've been quite looking forward to sort of wearing Christmas jumpers and talking about Christmassy crimes or some positive. I think I'm going to do some survival stories so that they're positive for the Christmas season. I'm not sure exactly yet how I'm going to do it. Talk about VickyLastMinute.com. I'm always last minute with everything. You think I'd have it planned, really, wouldn't you? But no, I'm not. I'm not a planner. I'm a bit spontaneous. But tomorrow definitely we will start. I'm hoping to put the Christmas tree up later behind me. So it'll feel Christmassy when you watch my videos. Coming up to Christmas Day, the 25th. Don't forget to send me your Christmas photos, like photos of your trees or anything Christmassy, anything vaguely Christmassy, your Christmas jumper, your dog's Christmas jumper, anything to do with Christmas. Please send to vickymariechats@gmail.com. Vicky with an I. And of course, if you're a member and you want a copy of my Confessions of a Spanish Teacher book, contact me on there as well. So, I've had a funny, interesting morning, a nice morning. So, yesterday was the saga of the car. So today I didn't have the car saga, but I had to go to the supermarket, which I absolutely hate. I also had to clean the roof, from the dogs. And so, I've done quite a lot already, and it's only actually 10 to 12. And I thought, oh God, it's a relief to do a video and actually sit down. So I went to the supermarket to get in like the weekend food, because weekend food is different to in the week food, isn't it? It's all right being good in the week when you're in your routine and you're working or whatever you're doing. Then when it comes to the weekend, it's nice to have, some special food, a bit of chocolate, crisps, anything really, something different that you wouldn't normally have in the week. Maybe a bottle of vino or something. So off I went to the supermarket. Oh, by the way, did you notice I've got glitter on? So today I did put some glitter on. Oh, that's my eye makeup there. Look like I've got black eye. I did put a bit of glitter on. I bought some glitter. And, I am a glitter girl. I love a bit of glitter. I love sort of girly things. Not because I was brought up like a little girly, because believe me, I wasn't. I was never treated like a little girly when I was young. I was like giving my brothers clothes. We were poor. We couldn't afford girly things. My mum didn't have much idea really of, she wouldn't let me have long hair. I used to put a pair of tights on my head and pretend they were pigtails, put elastic bands in them. So all I wanted was long hair, but I had one of those basin cuts that people had, so they didn't get nits. I don't know why I'm talking about this really, but what a terrible childhood. But I always liked pretty things. And now, of course, I can get them for myself. So I'm a real glitter girl. But it's funny, when you wear glitter, it gets everywhere. You can't get away with anything, because if you get up to no good, not that I ever did, of course, or ever do. I'm, so good. I never get up to any no good, whatever. The glitter gets everywhere and it gives you away. So, years ago when we used to do like Christmas kisses and mistletoe, and in the pre-COVID days when people enjoyed life and weren't terrified of dying all the time, yes, your glitter would turn up on people in unexpected places. Don't know how it got there. So it's a bit of fun, isn't it? So I'm wearing glitter. Oh, I think you can see it. I think you can see it. And I will be wearing glitter probably every day now until Christmas and probably beyond into the new year. So, yeah, I thought, oh, I've got to go shopping. I've got to go and, I didn't have to, but I wanted to go and get in some bits and pieces. And I was trying to work out how much money I had. And anyway, I found that I had a little bit more money than I thought I had. Not hundreds or anything, but maybe 30 euros more than I thought that I had for this shopping. So that was a nice result, because obviously I spent a lot of money yesterday on the car and everything. I didn't know how much I had left. And I had a little bit more than I thought. So I thought, oh, I can, get some crisps. And I even got some prawns, and sort of things that I wouldn't normally get. Normally just get the basics in, don't you? So off I went to the supermarket, which was really annoying because there was lots of people in it. Do you know what? Supermarkets would be great if it wasn't for people. And if people would just move along, not all stand 3 deep in front of the fridges or whatever, so you can't get in to get out what you want, or at the door as you're going out there, 3 of them lined up. Literally, you could not get through the door because they were blocking every bit of the door and they're just there chatting. Anyway, those sort of things are irritating. But so the supermarket I went to today, and normally I go to the local supermarket. That's where the old lady with the dog hangs out, and I try and give her some change if I've got any, because these days, of course, we rarely have cash, don't we? It's rare to have cash. But I didn't. I went to a different supermarket, and there was another little old lady outside there, not with a dog though. This one, I've seen her before. And as I got my trolley and walked past her, she's like, "Hola, guapa, algo de dinero para comida. Have you got any money for some food?" Blah, de, blah, de, blah. So I didn't have any money. I didn't have any cash. So I said to her, lo siento, no tengo efectivo. And she said, "Oh, cómprame un poco de comida. Can you buy me a little bit of food?" And I said, "Well, what do you need? What food do you need? Because these days, it's like she might have allergies, or she might be lactose intolerant, or maybe she just doesn't like some things that I like that I think she'd like to have." Anyway, she said, "Oh, no importa, it doesn't matter, just some food." So I bought a little bag of food and drink, not alcoholic drink. I would have, if she would have asked for alcohol, I would have brought her alcohol. I don't, anything to make her life better, because she doesn't look like she has a very happy life, to be honest. So I bought her the basics. So I bought her bread and ham and some milk, water, and some fruit juice. Did I buy some chocolate? I wasn't sure. I can't remember if I bought some chocolate. But, you just don't know what people like. Oh, and she was so grateful. So that was really sweet. So I felt really good about that. And then when I got back, somebody had booked in for classes. So do you know, it's funny, isn't it? It's like this karma, or like this thing that goes round. They always say, if you give money away, money will come to you. But sometimes it's hard to give money away, isn't it? Because maybe you haven't got very much. So you're sort of like cautious, because you're thinking, oh, you've got to get through to the end of the month, or you've got your electric bill coming up, or your gas bill. But of course, it doesn't have to be a lot of money either. Even if you give someone £1 or €1, it's like, supposedly, in the law of attraction. I think I might talk a bit about the law of attraction in one of the members' lives one day, because it's really interesting. The law of attraction is what you give out is what you get back, and that could be money, could be good thoughts, it can be love, it could, or hate. If you give out hate, you get hate back, etc. So whatever you give out, you get back. So that was that. And then I came back, got ready to do the stream, and I'm going to relax now for the rest of the day. I don't have to drive anywhere today. My son's not working. I'm going to watch Dancing on Ice, I nearly said. I'm going to watch Strictly Come Dancing later, and just generally sort of chill, maybe make a couple of more videos. So let me know what you're up to for the weekend. I hope you're all well. Hope you're all looking forward to Christmas. I know some of you aren't, but we'll try and make it a nice Christmas for everybody. in a true crime sort of way, because of course there's people out there that you know, they're coming up to their first Christmas without their loved one, including Hannah here that we're going to talk about today, and her father, of course, Ryan, who decided to remove himself from this world. I hope he's at peace. I hope he's in a better place. But you know, that's not very nice for Hannah's family, is it? So not only she's missing, but they've lost their father as well. And that's who we're going to listen to talking, Hannah's sister, Sydney. We're going to listen to her talking in an interview she did with News Nation. And it's very interesting. You know, I feel like there's so much information out there, but no one's at liberty to talk about it because it's an active investigation. But let me say hello to everybody, and then we'll get into what Hannah's sister had to say. This is a real mystery that's captivating everybody, isn't it? Right. Hi, Quizzical. Hi, David. Star sign. What, my star sign, Quizzical? Star sign? Golden Goblin. I already did have some vino, actually. I didn't have to buy any alcohol today. I can't even remember when I bought some earlier in the week, and you know, it's actually lasting now because I'm driving my son to work and picking him up and that. I can't, you know, actually a bottle of wine does last maybe a week, whereas before it probably would have only lasted a day. Hi, Angel. Hopefully no brass band today, David. Let's hope not. Hi, Laurie. Oh, you've got glitter eyeliner on. I love anything that glitters. I'm a glitter person. Yeah, you haven't missed anything yet, Laurie. I haven't even got started. You know what I'm like. I like to have a waffle. Oh, Angel, you've been given to the wrong people. It's not been working for you. That's a shame. I'm a Leo, Quizzical. I'm a Leo. The best zodiac sign. Well, for women anyway. I don't know about male Leos. They're a bit, but female Leos are brilliant. Of course, I've got to say that. But yeah, I'm a Leo. I'm quite a typical Leo in some ways and not in others. A leader. Well, it's funny, but I'm not really a leader. I'm quite sort of solitary like that. You know, lions are quite solitary. How can I explain it? I prefer, maybe it's just because I have worked for myself for a long time. I don't really like working in big groups of people. I don't like going out in big groups of people. You know, I prefer sort of smaller, intimate groups. Yeah, I don't know, but in some ways I'm a typical Leo. But if you know anything about horoscopes, I've got a Cancer ascendant. So that apparently tempers my Leo bits and pieces. You know, because although I'm a Leo, I've got a Cancer ascendant. So if you go into it quite deeply, then Cancer, of course, they're different. They're more home loving and more sort of reserved. So that sort of calms down my Leo bit, I think. Hi, Chumba. Chumba's a Leo as well, I think. You thought I was Cancer? Yeah, see, I think I've got a lot of Cancer traits, but that's because that's my ascendant. So yeah, that's very interesting, isn't it? Horoscopes, if you believe in it or not. But if you know, for horoscope to work, if you like, you have to go into it more deeply than just whether someone's Leo or Cancer or. You know, there are typical traits for every star sign, but you have to go into it a bit deeper, don't you? July Leo. I'm an August Leo. Anyway, so now I said hello to you all. This is who we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Hannah. And this is the mystery that is really well, it's certainly gripped America. and gripped all over the world, really, because it is a real proper mystery. Where is this girl? So Hannah is 30 years old. She's from Hawaii. She flew over to Los Angeles, where she was supposed to take a connecting flight to go and visit her auntie in New York. So this is where it started. She did arrive in Los Angeles. We do know that for a fact. She definitely arrived in Los Angeles airport. But she did not take her connecting flight to New York. And there's some people are saying that her luggage did go to New York. Other people are saying, no, her luggage can't have gone to New York, not without her on the plane. They would have not let the plane go with just the luggage. And now, of course, they're saying that she cancelled that flight, that she missed that flight intentionally. It wasn't, the police have said she missed her flight intentionally. Then she was seen at some sort of, she was captured by accident on a YouTube video. Then she was seen by seen with an unidentified male at the airport and at the train station, I think, but the police aren't releasing any details of who that man was. And then, just as things couldn't get any more weird, they did. And her father, Ryan, who's in this photo, he, after searching for her desperately for 2 weeks, along with her aunties, giving out flyers, getting quite upset, having interviews, television interviews, etc. He was found dead in a car park in Los Angeles, and not far from the airport, and he jumped off a multi-story car park and taken his own life. So this has just added fuel. Obviously, with the best will in the world, it's difficult not to speculate because it's just all so mysterious. Why did he do that before he knew what had happened to his daughter? Anyway, her sister, Sydney, this is Sydney in the photo. This is on the left, this is Hannah, and this is her sister, Sydney, in the photo. She has been speaking to News Nation, and that's the interview we're going to look at to see what was said in this interview, what her sister has got to say, not only about Hannah's disappearance, but she does talk a little bit about Ryan's death. Of course, Ryan is her father as well. So she's lost her father and her sister is missing. And the internet is rife with rumours, as you can imagine. I mean, to be with the best will in the world, it's difficult to tell people not to speculate because it is such a mystery, that as long as they're respectful to the family, I don't think you'd be able to stop people speculating. It's human nature to speculate, and this is what happens now when there's a vacuum of information. And also, it's a nice thing in a way because, people want to find Hannah. People do care about Hannah, which just reminds me, I'm going to light a candle for Ryan. Now, Ryan, he has left this world. He left through his own choosing. Maybe he just had some sort of a mental breakdown over everything that was going on. Some people say it's because he knew something. Other people say it's because he just couldn't cope with what might have happened to his daughter. We don't know why Ryan did that. So I'm going to light a candle first of all for him. And as I say, I hope he's at peace. I hope he's in a better place and he knows now what happened to Hannah. I hope she is safe and well. And if she isn't, if she is deceased, hopefully Ryan and Hannah are together. That's, all we can hope for, really. And then I'm going to light a candle for Hannah, which obviously is a different sort of candle in the way. This is not because I think she's deceased, although obviously every day that goes past is a little bit, worse, isn't it? And a little bit less likely that she will be found safe and well, but not beyond the realms of possibility. Some people think she's in a cult, or she's, she may have been abducted and she may be okay, but she's just not allowed to contact her family. So, some people think she's run away voluntarily to join a cult or to do. So, all these are the possibilities that nobody knows what's happened, do they? So let's have a look at this interview. So this is on News Nation, who we quite often look at their channel, and we're going to listen to her sister. Oh, hang on. I was trying to share it on the wrong picture then. Hang on. That's, God. Ay, 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 ay. This is what I meant to share. So this is Brian Entin. He's one of the reporters. He's a very good reporter on News Nation, and he's talking to Sydney. Let's have a look what she's got to say. Oh, hang on.
30-year-old Hannah Kobayashi went missing 16 days ago on her way to visit her aunt in New York. Hannah missed her connecting flight on November 8th, but was spotted the next day and the day after that in LA. The last day her family heard from her was November 11th. Hannah was then spotted back at the airport with an unknown person and was later spotted that night at the train station, also with an unknown person. Now, earlier that day, Hannah sent mysterious texts to friends and family. We also know Hannah sent 2 Venmo payments. There were Venmo payments on November 9th, the first.
Sorry, so these sightings at the station, we have not, those photos, that CCTV has not been released. So all they're saying is she was at the station with an unknown male. And then these 2 mysterious payments were made.
First at 6:25 p.m. with a bow and arrow emoji. The second was made less than an hour later, just with the word, quote, reading. Joining me now is Hannah's sister, Sydney Kobayashi. Sydney, thank you so much for being with us. First of all, our heart goes out to you, everything your family's been going through with your sister. We know your dad took his own life as he was searching for her. I mean, it's just been an unbelievable.
Now, Sydney is in Hawaii with her mum, I believe. I don't know if the mother and father were still together or estranged. She looks, when he mentioned her dad, then she had to look down, didn't she? She looks very sad. So, because it's her father who's died.
Terrible situation. What do you want us to know, Sydney, about your sister and about your family?
My sister, I've said this before, she's just such an amazing and beautiful person inside and out. She's always been independent, a very free spirit. She likes to travel. Sorry, this is just a lot. She's just a very beautiful person inside and out. And she would.
I think Sydney's very brave to come on and do this interview because she knows that the world is watching. They know the attention this case is getting. And at the end of the day, Sydney is not a YouTuber or someone who's used to being in the public eye. She's just a normal person. And now suddenly she's in the public eye. And I presume then, I don't know if she knew Dog, as because Dog the Bounty Hunter's been on talking about this, because it turns out that Dog the Bounty Hunter, his daughter knew Hannah. Yeah, I can't make out, trying to look at, I suppose she's trying to control herself, Sydney, I could not work out how I feel about her. I think she's just trying to control herself, is she? I don't know. I mean, the thing is, Sydney has made this public interview, so she knows when she makes it, people are going to watch it and they're going to sort of make assumptions. So I'm not going to make any assumptions or say anything. Just let's watch, and our heart goes out to her.
I don't even know where to start. This whole situation is bizarre. She would have never done anything like this to our family. So that's what raises concern for me. But I also need to correct that she was not seen at the airport with anybody. So I'm sorry, I just heard that now, and I wanted to correct that from whatever standpoint you guys have.
So she says she's not seen with anybody at the airport. She said she's just heard that now. So at the actual airport itself, she was not seen with anyone, according to what Sydney's saying. And yeah, those messages, they were strange, weren't they? Because the message for the reading was just $25 to this Jonathan Taylor. The other message with the bow and arrow, yeah, we don't know. Maybe it is a Cupid's bow. Maybe it's a love emoji. Everybody is saying that Hannah liked to use emojis. She used a lot of emojis in her messages, which is why they feel like those later messages they got from her may not be from her, even though they were from her phone, because there was no emojis. And according to her friends and family, those people that loved her, those people that knew her, those people that got regular messages from her, she used loads of emojis, but not in those messages. So that's a strange thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a lot of different reports that have come out and things that have been said that aren't true, and different, all sorts of stuff. And then I think people were just shocked when they found out about your dad, and just so sad. I mean, the fact that he was there searching, I think for almost 2 weeks in LA, right, for her, and then took his own life. Like, was it just?
There's the dad there, Ryan, talking, obviously, before he died. Why did he do what he did? And I don't know about you, but I feel very strongly during this interview that she's trying not to say things. Look at her mouth, how she's compressing her mouth. I'm not a body language expert, and I don't actually believe in body language, really. I think body language is something that afterwards, when you know what the truth is, you can look at and see signs. But I think it's very difficult in the moment to say definitively somebody's lying or not lying. It's only a feeling, isn't it, really, that you get. But there are certain signs, and one sign of someone, supposedly, according to body language experts, as I say, not me, other people who are experts or say they are, and it does make sense, is that when people talk and they compress their lips like that, or if they put their tongue out, actually, it's that they're trying not to say something. You feel especially in that picture there, just where it's frozen, you feel with Sydney that it's like just the way she's looking down as well. It just feels like she maybe knows some, and though she does actually admit that in a moment, she's very limited to what she can say because there's an investigation going on. You feel like there's more that Sydney would like to say, but she's not allowed to, because not to compromise the investigation.
I can't even imagine what he must have been going through.
So I will speak for my dad, knowing him my entire life, and anybody that knows my father, they know that he was a very loving, caring, kind-hearted individual. And I was out in LA, and while I was with him, I knew that he genuinely fought until his last breath.
I mean, he looks absolutely devastated, doesn't he? her father here absolutely like completely choked up. Maybe he did just have a total mental break because of everything.
To find my sister, and he gave it his all. You know, he deprived himself of sleep. He wasn't eating. He was only caring about everybody else's feelings but his own. He just didn't speak about how he was doing, and he pushed and he pushed and he fought for her as any loving parent would. Yeah, I mean, if any of us would have seen this coming, we would have done our best to prevent it.
Yeah, I mean, no one knows how they're going to react in a situation like that. We've seen the text messages that don't really make a lot of sense to the family. These Venmo payments now are very strange. What do you think happened, Sydney? I mean, as a sister, do you have any sense?
I don't. Being in this kind of situation, you can't even. There's no way of preparing for it. Your mind goes in so many different directions, especially with the amount of information that we have, which is very little. All I know is that her whereabouts are still unknown. We're continuing to search for her. We have received information which makes us still be hopeful that she's still alive.
That's a beautiful picture of the two of them, isn't it? Look at that photo, it's so gorgeous. Oh, the thing is, yeah, I agree, Angel. You wouldn't want to do an interview, would you? But you know, I feel like Sydney now has been left with this task because now her dad has gone. He was doing a lot of interviews, wasn't he, with the auntie? I'm not sure why she's not doing this interview with the auntie, or the auntie's not doing it, or whatever. I don't know. But I think Sydney, you know, the problem is somebody's got to do these interviews because they want they want the publicity, and they've gone to somewhere like News Nation is like really, it is a YouTube type. I mean, it's more than YouTube, but it's not quite a news channel, is it? It's like, it's not like CNN or Fox News or something like that. To me, I feel like it's somewhere in the middle, where it's sort of social media combined with, but it's reputable. You know, it's got a reputation for being genuine. You know, not like social media, like you know, sort of me, I suppose, or not even me, but you know, there's much worse ones than me. I mean, there's social media out there, people who just make things up, isn't there? So it's not that kind of social media, but it's more accessible maybe than other mainstream media, but still not like you know, TikTok, so social media or whatever. So they want the story out there. They want to, at the end of the day, they want to find Hannah. I bet there's not many people in America now don't know who Hannah is and know her face. And that's what they want, because Hannah is somewhere. And if she was seen at a train station, she could be anywhere, couldn't she? She could be absolutely anywhere in America. You know, it's easy to travel across America by train or Greyhound bus or rent a car, or it's harder to hop on a flight because then she'd have to give her passport, I suppose, etc. Or no, I suppose you wouldn't need to show identification for an inland flight, you know, for a home flight. What do they call them? For a flight that's, you know, not leaving the borders, you probably wouldn't have to show your passport. I don't know what it's like for, you know, because people hop on flights in America, don't they, all the time? So, you know, she's stuck in this position where she wants, of course, she wants publicity because they want to find Hannah. But yeah, it'd be really hard to come on an interview like this and not get upset. I just feel like there's a lot that Sydney knows that she can't say. That's how I feel when she's talking. There's a lot hidden.
we just can't divulge into it yet. And I don't think a lot of people understand that we have to be very careful of what we do release, because we're getting thousands and thousands of tips from like the family, from LAPD, everything, everywhere. But this is just completely out of character from my sister. And so intuitively knowing her and being so close to her my entire life, I just want to say this is absolutely not like her. Especially
and I
like
understand you have to be careful.
Text messages. Yeah, especially with those text messages that she last sent. It just, in my mind, it feels like someone was controlling her, or someone was. It might have not even been her. So I mean, I want to believe, and we're trusting that.
Yeah, so she's saying that it may not have even been her. So yeah, that's it, David. Internal flights. Hi, Heather. Good morning. Happy Saturday. And yeah, David, you mentioned the ex there, and now on some sort of social media accounts I've seen on X and places that some people are mentioning her ex, but nothing official, of course, is it? So maybe she knows something about her ex, but she can't say it, and they won't. Maybe they're looking for her. Where is he? Where is her ex? Maybe it is something to do with him. But I definitely feel that Sydney here, she knows more. She can't talk about it, but she seems to be wanting to put some sort of message across.
The law enforcement is doing their job. And as far as we know, the most recent update we have is that the detective that's working on the case has been in contact with my mom as early as this afternoon. That's the most recent update that I can give right now and release. It's like a lot of information to deal with at once, and especially with this happening back to back, it's devastating.
Yeah, I truly can't even imagine. Yeah, and our heart goes out to you, Sydney, and we'll stay on the story. And if there's anything else we can do, we'll keep putting our picture out there. And hopefully, I know tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and I just hope you guys have a positive outcome very, very soon, and that you all can be together again. So, Sydney, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, and I just wanted to put this out there too. We're so grateful for everyone that has been so supportive through this time, and we just ask that you just give our family some grace. We had not even 2 hours to grieve the loss of my father, because this story has gone nationwide, and I just ask that you guys continue to help us search for my sister, and also just be kind, because we all have families. So just imagine if it was your loved one, and just put yourself in our shoes. Yeah. But all we can ask is that we keep my father's legacy alive, because he literally fought until his very last breath. And he did it, like I said, as any loving father or parent, mother would have done for their own child.
I understand. Thank you, Sydney. I appreciate your time tonight, and I hope we can, have a positive outcome soon. I want to bring in former FBI agent and News Nation Law and Justice contributor Jennifer Koffendorfer. She's been following the case closely. You know what Sydney said at the
So it was interesting. We will have a listen to what Jennifer's got to say in a moment. So it was interesting, wasn't it, what Sydney was saying? You feel like she definitely knows something more. She said that the police had been in touch with her mum just before that interview. So they'll be letting the police will be letting the family know what they can. And the family then will have to keep it to themselves. It's just heartbreaking to have to go through that. And especially, Thanksgiving, Christmas coming up. Very difficult situation for this family. Yes, I'm in pink today, Heather.
The end there, and you see this on social media. I mean, people start to treat these stories like a soap opera. and they say awful things, and they, say bad things about family members, and they don't even really know what's going on. And I think that's happening again with this case, which is really a shame. But what do you make of these latest developments in terms of the payments? I think there were the Venmo payments. What do you make of that, Jen?
Well, I think it's great that they are going to, meaning law enforcement has something to track here. One of them said reading. Was that a tarot card reading, possibly? The other one is to an unknown woman. But now you have people that were actually in contact with her on the 9th. So moving forward to the 11th, it's been said now by law enforcement, interestingly, that she actually missed her flight on purpose. Now, that was said in a committee type situation. It wasn't said as a public announcement, but it's very concerning to hear that. And I don't know if that's truly accurate and if that is based on just the...
Of course, what might have happened is somebody may have said to her, look, don't bother getting a flight to New York. You get to LA and I'll take you to New York. If that could have been her ex-husband, couldn't it? If he's in New York, if it's true what the Daily Mail are saying, that he's helping police with their inquiries in New York, did he offer to go and get her and take her to New York and say, oh, don't bother getting a flight, I'll come and get you? Is it him who's the unidentified person? There's a lot of different options of how it might be.
Fact that on the 11th, we know she had her luggage, but was that flown back to her? She'd been in the same clothes for 3 days. We know she was making arrangements because the ticket agent said she was making an arrangement to either go.
Now, they said she's been in the same clothes for 3 days. I often wear the same clothes for 3 days. Not in the summer when it's boiling hot and, you can't. But in the winter, probably I do. I mean, because, you don't wear them for long, do you? Well, I don't. And then next minute I've got my pajamas on. And then in the morning, I'll just put on the clothes I've had on the day before. And don't forget, she was travelling. So when you're travelling, she maybe, she had a suitcase, but maybe she had a little backpack with just, a basic, maybe a change of underwear or whatever, but wearing the same clothes. I don't think that's unusual, really, to wear the same clothes for 3 days. Or maybe that's just me. As I say, not in the summer. God, you're changing your clothes a few times a day in the summer here because you just get so hot and they just get so horrible. But in the winter, I don't know that I would, I would put maybe 3 days is a bit much, but definitely 2 days I would.
Go back to Maui or to head on to New York. So there's a lot of things that are unknown, but police saying that is certainly concerning.
It is, yeah. And even if she intentionally missed her flight, does that mean someone made her miss her flight and there's still something very suspicious going on? We're just going to have to wait and see, but I hope it all gets resolved soon. Jennifer, thank you so much for coming on. I wish you and your family a really happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, Brian.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget, click.
Okay. So that was her sister talking to News Nation. Now, in a minute, we're going to just might have a look at that Daily Mail thing in a moment as well. But we're definitely going to look at a video from the Sun, of all people. But, I think the Sun's coverage of these things has got a bit better. These kind of things has got a bit better. They've gone into this YouTube mode as well, haven't they? Of because obviously newspapers are dying out, aren't they? They are dying out, and news agencies have had to change the way they do things. I've noticed that Sky News web, has changed a lot. All of them have changed because society's changed. But before we look at this Sun video that we're going to look at, I want to show you a comment that I was left on this case on the last video that I did about it. Somebody, not a regular person, not a regular chatter, somebody who I've never, obviously new cases attract different people that you've never heard from before. And a comment that was left on the last video that I did about Hannah. Now, I'm not saying this is true, I'm just reading it because it was unusual for me to get a comment like this in so much detail. So it's from this person called Autumn Fragrance, who I looked up their account, and they've had an account from 2017. So, you know, quite often when you get cases that people start, you know, like the Nicola Bulley case and Jay Slater, etc., and when you look at the comments that people have put and you look at the account that they come from, they've only just been made that day or something, you know. So, you know, they've just made that account just to make that comment, and they're probably somebody, you know, probably another YouTuber often. But this account has been going for actually, let's have a look at it. Let me show you the account. And I don't know if they'll mind me showing you the account, but at the end of the day, they made a public post on my on the video, one of my videos. So they're you know, they've made a public post. So this is I mean, it's you know, it's a false account in the sense as I don't think that photo is a genuine photo. Maybe it is. I don't know. Autumn Fragrance, though, obviously is not a normal name for anybody. They've got 35 subscribers, and they joined on the 16th of July in 2017. So, you know, they've been a YouTube user for a long time, for a lot of years. So not just for not just for this case, they were already a YouTube user. So I think that's important too. Anyway, so they've made this comment, left this comment. Let's have a look. Again, it's a public comment. Right, talking as if they know this family. Ryan felt very guilty because Hannah was triggered when she found out that he voted for Trump. Well, you might know it'd be Trump's fault. She was very distraught over the recent election results and needed to take some time to sort things out. Hannah is extremely progressive and dedicated her life supporting diversity, equity, and inclusion. She's deeply concerned with LGBT, etc. rights, climate change, restorative justice, and recycling. She had a million things on her mind. She could no longer bear to live in a country that reeks of racism, bigotry, and misogyny. She dreamt of a neo-Marxist world where social justice prevails. I believe Hannah is free and dandy. Her spiritual awakening is just an anti-racism pilgrimage. Let us pray that she is found safely and that this is just a paid toll. So I have replied to her and said, thanks for your comment. And do you know Hannah? Because, you know, she's talking as if she knows something about this family. And maybe she does, or maybe she doesn't. Quite possibly she doesn't. Quite possibly she's just saying what she thinks. But the way she's talking about it all as if she knows something. So I have asked her. But of course, we have to be aware that, you know, I mean, no offense, Autumn Fragrance, but there's a lot of nutters on the internet as well. I'm not saying you're a nutter, you know, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there are a lot of them. So, God, you know, some of the comments that people come out with. But of course, hidden amongst all that, there may often be somebody who really does know. I mean, I do get comments on my channel on cases from family, from relatives, from people who know the victims or the protagonists. So it's normally the victims. So it wouldn't be the first time that somebody who knows somebody I'm talking about has come on and actually spoken, maybe tried to put things straight that maybe, you know, were sort of being said in a certain way, and I've said them because I've read them somewhere, and they're saying no, it wasn't like that, you know. But I've never had anybody part of a family of a case that I've talked about come on and you know, because I do try and be respectful. I hope, certainly to the victims, never ever disrespectful to the victims. So normally when people do come on, even if they're trying to put something straight, they're always very respectful to me as well, which is nice. So often I have had comments from people who are genuinely connected to the cases. That's why we've always got to be careful what we say, because we don't know who's watching, who's reading, you know, especially when it comes to being horrible about people. So yeah, just wanted to tell you about that. So I have asked this lady, you know, do you know Hannah? It's just that it sounds like from your message you do. Do you know that's true, or are you just, is that just what you think? So we'll see if she replies, if she comes back and replies. Okay, so let's see. See this. So let's watch this video. Let's watch this video from the Sun, because it's interesting. I think it condenses the case well, and that's what's important, isn't it?
Last heard from on November 11th after missing a connecting flight from Los Angeles to New York 3 days before. The 30-year-old's disappearance has taken tragic twists and turns, from confusing text messages to the death of her father. On November 8th, Hannah left her home in Maui and arrived in LA for her connecting flight to New York at 11 p.m. But Hannah never made it, despite reportedly booking tickets worth hundreds of dollars for events in the city. The following day, when she was supposed to land at JFK Airport in New York, she is seen at a bookshop around an hour from Los Angeles International Airport. On November 10th, 2 days after missing her connected flight, a string of cryptic messages was sent from her phone, sparking huge concern from family and friends. In these messages, Hannah says she was scared about someone trying to steal her money and identity. Hannah's mum, Brandy Yee, had messaged her to see if she had landed in New York and received a 2-worded reply saying, "Not yet." Hannah also sent an eerie text to her friend saying, "I got tricked pretty much into giving away all my funds for someone I thought I loved." Another message reportedly referenced a spiritual awakening and featured an apology for acting crazy. Hannah's worried aunt, Larry Pigeon, said one of the final messages she was sent from the missing woman spoke about the Matrix. The mystery deepened when she was seen at a Nike event in LA that same day. By Monday 11th, Hannah's phone placed her back at LAX and she posted a picture on her Instagram of the Nike event. Her phone was then switched off. A missing persons report for Hannah was filed 2 days later on after family members couldn't get through to her. Hannah's heartbroken sister, Sydney Kobayashi, has since said that the text may have been sent by someone else, admitting that she was starting to feel uneasy in light of the messages. Speaking to News Nation, she said she feels like someone was controlling her, adding that she knows this is absolutely not like her. Hannah's aunt Larry travelled to Los Angeles with fellow family members, including Hannah's dad Ryan, as the search for the young woman ramped up. Hannah's family revealed they saw her in surveillance footage from November 11th that hasn't been released to the public, saying she didn't look well. They fear she may have been abducted or trafficked. Hannah was spotted at the Metro Pico station in downtown Los Angeles and was reportedly seen with another unknown person in the footage at 10:03 p.m. As the search continued, 17 days after Hannah missing her connected flight, her dad Ryan was tragically found dead in a parking lot in Los Angeles. The LA County Medical Examiner ruled his death as suicide. His heartbroken family say he bottled up his emotions as he tirelessly searched for his daughter. A GoFundMe page set up after Ryan's passing read, "He has been living his absolute worst nightmare since Hannah's disappearance, and now with his passing, our family is grappling with unimaginable grief." Ryan was said to have scoured some of LA's most dangerous neighborhoods in a bid to find Hannah. Hannah's aunt Larry told the New York Post, "Imagine looking in places like Skid Row, picturing his daughter.
Yeah, so these are the sort of places that they've been looking for Hannah. And, you know, that won't have been nice for a father, would it, to think that maybe Hannah was there or whatever. Now, we'll watch this to the end and then we'll watch it from the beginning again, because I want to comment on some of the things on it.
To being sex trafficked, not getting sleep. He just broke. Skid Row has long had a reputation for being seedy and dangerous and has a significant concentration of unhoused people since the Great Depression. In another tragic twist, the US Sun exclusively reported how 2 Venmo payments were sent to a man and a woman on November 9th. Her families say they didn't recognize the names of the people who were wired money. Hannah's Aunt Larry confirmed to the US Sun that the family had seen the payments and allegations she met with a scammer. She said, "We have been made aware and so have the LAPD. It's in their hands. We're also now encouraging people from across the nation to keep an eye in case she has been taken outside of California." As of November 28th, Larry revealed there have been new sightings of her missing niece as police pursue what she calls really credible leads. She told Maui News that she is hopeful the new sightings could eventually bring Hannah home as the grieving family continue their desperate search.
Yeah, let's just watch that from the beginning this time.
Was heard from on November 11th after missing a connecting flight from Los Angeles to New York 3 days before. The 30-year-old's disappearance has taken tragic twists and turns, from confusing text messages to the death of her father. On November 8th, Hannah left her home in Maui and arrived in LA for her connecting flight to New
York. She looks a little bit like Mika, doesn't she? You know Mika Miller, I think, because Mika, of course, is Indian heritage, native Indian heritage, I think. You know, there are all these women that these things happen to, so beautiful as well, aren't they? So beautiful. All their pictures look like they've got everything to live for. I mean, not that we know anything's happened yet with Hannah, so just, you know, something mysterious has happened to her, but we don't know what the reason for it is. But, you know, she seems to be happy, enjoying life. Just shows you, you know, you can. And then they're saying that she wasn't, that she was struggling with things. So who knows? But one thing we do know is these photos that you see on these bloody social media pages, they mean absolutely nothing.
New York at 11 p.m. But Hannah never made it, despite reportedly booking tickets worth hundreds of dollars for events in the city. The following day, when she was supposed to land at JFK Airport in New York, she is seen at a bookshop around an hour.
Yeah, because she had paid for a hotel already in New York. She had booked lots of outings when she was in New York. She'd pre-booked them and everything. So why didn't she go? You know, she obviously was intending to go at some point because she booked all these things.
From Los Angeles International Airport. On November 10th, 2 days after missing her connected flight, a string of cryptic messages was sent from her phone, sparking huge concern from family and friends. In these messages, Hannah says she was scared about someone trying to steal her money and identity. Hannah's mum, Brandy Yee, had messaged her to see if she had landed in New York and received a 2-worded reply saying, "Not yet." Hannah.
That to me is the strangest message. Because she's her mum, who she, to all intents and purposes, she's very close to, has messaged her and said, "Have you arrived in New York?" And she's just replied with, "Not yet." Now, I just know how I would be, how any of you out there, especially women, girls, you think how you would text your mum or your sister or one of your family that you're close to. You would not just say "not yet" and that's it. You just wouldn't. You know, women don't do that. A man might do that. Men send, you know what it's like. You send a text to a man, send a great big long text explaining this, that and the other and blah, 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 blah. And he answers with, "Okay." And it drives you absolutely bonkers. Girls don't do that. Women don't do that. Women put loads of information in there. So I think that without doubt, Hannah would have replied saying, No, not yet, because I missed my flight, or because I decided I'm going to spend a few more days in Los Angeles, or because there's no way, in my opinion, that someone, especially someone like Hannah, who seems to be the same as any other woman, would reply with 2-word answer. That's what men do. That straight away rings a big alarm bell for me. Not yet. If my friend replied to me with a text like that, I'd think, oh God, I must have upset them. You know, even if they were like, somebody answered me the other day. It was a student. It wasn't even a member of my family. You know, somebody who was trying to. It was a business sort of. And even they said, "Oh, sorry, I can't text at the moment. I'm at work. I'll text with more detail later." That's what a woman would do. That was a woman, obviously. Even men do that sometimes, to be honest. They'll say, oh, I'm at the gym. I can't speak now. I'll text later or whatever. But so unusual for a woman to just send a 2-word text, especially to her mother. I don't think that was her. You know, that to me is a big red flag. I hope it was her. Maybe she was rushing. Maybe she was rushing to get her luggage. Maybe... I don't know, and maybe she was thinking, oh, I'll send her a more of an answer later. But I think she would have said that, you know, and from what her friends and family say, I'm even more convinced she would. So that to me does not seem like a woman's text.
Also sent an eerie text to her friend saying, I got tricked pretty much into giving away all my funds for someone I thought I loved. Another message reportedly referenced a spiritual awakening and featured an apology for acting crazy. Hannah's worried aunt, Larry Pigeon, said one of the final messages she was sent from the missing woman spoke about the Matrix. The mystery deepened when she was seen at a Nike event in LA that same day. By Monday 11th.
Yeah, this photo as well. Now, I mean, I know it's only a photo. She looks worried on the photo, but maybe she's worried because she's thinking, oh, that person over there's taking a photo of me, you know, or am I going to turn up on this photo? Maybe she was worried because her feet were hurting, or because it was starting to rain, or we don't know why. But she doesn't look particularly happy on that photo. But yeah, so this was an accidental picture, wasn't it? That was taken by somebody who found it on YouTube. And you know, they hadn't meant to take a photo of Hannah because nobody knew at the time when this photo was taken that Hannah was missing or anything. But after, yeah, she does look concerned that they are taking a picture, or maybe she's just noticed that they're taking a photo and she's thinking, oh, who are they taking a photo of? You know, we don't know what was going on in her head, but those texts about the Matrix are odd, aren't they? Was Hannah, you know, did she believe in the Matrix? Some people do believe in the Matrix and all that sort of thing, don't they? You know, again, to me, I don't know why, but I just feel like that would be more of if talking about the Matrix, it's a man's thing, isn't it? I don't know. That's what I think, but maybe just because I wouldn't talk about it. It's difficult, isn't it, to put yourself in other people's positions.
Then Hannah's phone placed her back at LAX and she posted a picture on her Instagram of the Nike event. Her phone was then switched off. A missing persons report for Hannah was filed 2 days later on after family members couldn't get through to her. Hannah's heartbroken sister, Sydney Kobayashi, has since said that the text may have been sent by someone else, admitting that she was starting to feel uneasy in light of the messages. Speaking to News Nation, she said she feels like someone was controlling her, adding
that's what she said. I feel like someone is controlling her. Now, she would know more than anyone how Hannah's normal messages are. I've never messaged with Hannah, so I don't know how Hannah normally did her messages, but they all say her messages were always full of emojis, etc. So, yeah, although obviously I don't know how Hannah's messages would be. I know what my son's messages are like, for example. I know what my friends' messages are like, my family's. I know what my messages are like. I'm one of these people who writes really long messages, and I think women do tend to do that unless they're Spanish, because in Spain they seem to have this thing of just sending one line at a time. So you like get a message, buenos dias or hola, that's it, and then you wait and you wait. Then 10 minutes later, I'm in the supermarket, It's like, right, okay, get to the point, takes them ages to get to a point. Or they try and send a voice message, which I hate voice messages because I can often can't listen to them because I'm working, I'm in class, or I'm on a live, so I can't listen to the voice message at the time. So then I'm like, drive myself mad thinking, I hope it's nothing urgent, and then by the time it comes that I can listen to it, quite often I've forgotten about it then. So I just don't like voice messages. I like normal messages that I can look at. I can decide if it needs an immediate answer or not. That's the way I am. So we've all got our ways with messages, and there are some people that you would message, and you think if they don't answer you straight away, you start to worry about them. And then there are other people like my son, whereas not now, because obviously he lives here now, but when he lived separately from here, if you didn't get an answer for 3 days, you didn't really worry, because he'd answer when he felt like it. Those kind of things as well. So there's all sorts of things, as a brother, a sister, a mother, a father, from the messages you get from that person what's normal and what isn't. And her sister Sydney does not think these messages are her. You can tell that.
She knows this is absolutely not like her. Hannah's aunt Larry travelled to Los Angeles with fellow family members, including Hannah's dad Ryan, as the search for the young woman ramped up. Hannah's family revealed they saw her in surveillance footage from November 11th that hasn't been released to the public, saying she didn't look well. They fear she may have been abducted or trafficked. Hannah was spotted at the Metro Pico station in downtown Los Angeles and was reportedly seen with another unknown person in the footage at 10:03 p.m. As the search continued, 17 days after Hannah missing her connected flight, her dad Ryan was tragically found dead in a parking lot in Los Angeles. The LA County Medical Examiner ruled his death as suicide. His heartbroken family say he bottled up his emotions as he tirelessly searched for his daughter. A GoFundMe page set up after Ryan's passing read, "He has been living his absolute worst nightmare since Hannah's disappearance, and now with his passing, our family is grappling with unimaginable grief." Ryan was said to have scoured some of LA's most dangerous neighborhoods in a bid to find Hannah. Hannah's aunt Larry told the New York Post, "Imagine looking in places like Skid Row, picturing his..."
Of course, there's a big controversy at the moment. This is the homeless people's video that we saw in the News Nation video just earlier. It's very sad, isn't it? These are whole communities. And there's all ages. I saw it in Madrid, to be honest, when I was in Madrid earlier in the year. So many people sleeping on the streets in Madrid. It was horrible, actually. And all ages like these, but not only young people, but not only very young people, middle-aged people. And in Madrid, there were a lot of elderly people as well. It just broke my heart to see them living on the streets like that when they were maybe in their 60s, 70s. Should have been lying in a comfy bed, you know what I mean, for their bones and that. And, oh, God, it was just awful because you can't help all of them. And then, there were restaurants by them. And, of course, Madrid's the capital city. It's got some really nice boutiques and expensive shops. And then these people in between, sleeping on the streets, all different ages and nationalities. A lot of them were Spanish. They weren't immigrants, so it was disgusting. And I thought that about Madrid before. I remember going to Madrid before and being struck by that. homelessness to me is a scourge. So I don't know if you know, but in Manchester, in the UK, they're setting up a homeless village, you know, where people can. So it's probably, the thing is, these are like unofficial homeless villages, aren't they? So the other thing that happens is then people get scared of them, and then, you know, people get angry with them because they're on the streets. They're going to start moving them on now in America. And when Mr. Trump comes in January, but where are they going to go? You know, they got to go somewhere. I mean, they're not, just because you move them on from there, where are they going to go then? What are you going to do? Shoot them? I mean, what? I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, if they did, the way it feels at the moment. This intolerance for people that are unfortunate. But we'll see what happens. You know, what else can we do? But yeah, in Manchester. So the good news is, in Manchester, they're setting up these homeless villages, and I think that's a good idea. And I think, you know, there's lots of places these people could go. There's empty prisons that could be just giving, you know, a little overhaul. That's what they're doing in Holland. They're taking their unused prisons and turning them into community centres or homeless shelters. Why are they just there not being used? At least there's a bed and a roof over their heads. That's more than they've got here on the street.
His daughter being sex trafficked, not getting sleep. He just broke. Skid Row has long had a reputation for being seedy and dangerous, and has a significant concentration of unhoused people since the Great Depression. In another tragic twist, the US Sun exclusively reported how 2 Venmo payments were sent to a man and a woman on November 9th. Her family say they didn't recognise the names of the people who were wired money. Hannah's Aunt Larry confirmed to the US Sun that the family had seen the payments and allegations she met with a scammer. She said, "We have been made aware, and so have the LAPD. It's in their hands. We are also now encouraging people from across the nation to keep an eye in case she has been taken outside of California." As of November 28th, Larry revealed there have been new sightings of her missing niece as police pursue what she calls really credible leads. She told Maui News that she is hopeful the new sightings could eventually bring Hannah home as the grieving family continue their desperate search.
So, right, I'm just going to Google...
When it comes to what is right and what is wrong,
I'm going to just Google about Hannah's boyfriend, just because I don't know a lot about him, to be honest. Or her ex-boyfriend. Of course, the ex-boyfriend is always the prime suspect in anything, you know. That's just because normally it is. So it's saying here in the Independent that this New York trip that she had planned it with her ex-boyfriend. And he made it to their final destination while she did not. So he's not been named. He had the same flight itinerary as Hannah. And he reportedly did make it to their end destination. The trip was planned before they split up, but the flights were non-refundable. So they kept the tickets and they agreed to part ways once they arrived in New York. Well, that seems very suspicious, doesn't it? So they were both booked to go on that trip and he got there and she didn't. Let's have a look at this video. This is Fox, isn't it? Where's the sound? Just go back to it. Gosh. I mean, this is a total mystery, isn't it? So now we're seeing that this trip she'd planned with her ex-boyfriend. He made it to New York, but she didn't. So were they on the flight together then? I mean, oh my God. Because the problem is we haven't got all the information. He's in New York. That's why he's in New York helping police with their inquiries, because he made it to New York, but she didn't. And has he had anything to do with that? So he was estranged from his daughter. Though, so he would be feeling even more guilty when she went missing because he was estranged from her. Well, it just gets more and more mysterious, this, doesn't it? Just one more to find that. It just gets more and more disappear. Gosh. I can't really find anything different from what we've already sort of talked about. Yeah, just this thing that the ex-boyfriend, who was using tickets he bought with her while they were together, he was able to catch the connecting flight. So why did Hannah not get that connecting flight? Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, this is no wonder people, it's all right saying to people not to speculate, but it is. Oh, sorry, did you not see it? Sorry. It is very strange. Let's have a look at that again then. Sorry, there's always at least one that I don't share. All right, we'll try one more time with this.
Developing news in the case of a missing Maui woman who vanished after landing at LAX. Her father has been found dead right near the airport. Loved ones say he took his own life. Fox 11's Haley Wizzo, she's live at LAX now with more tonight. Haley?
Marla, this is where things started to take a turn for the worse for Hannah Kobayashi when she missed her connecting flight on a quick layover, which then led to her disappearance in LA. Now, in a very disturbing turn, yesterday morning, about a mile away from here, her dad, who's been leading the search, took his own life.
This is almost too much for anyone to bear, but we're still here.
One tragedy on top of another. Ryan Kobayashi takes his own life after 2 weeks of exhausting the search for his missing daughter, Hannah.
He died of a broken heart. He broke He mentally broke. And that's the thing. It's like, you don't know how you would react unless it was your daughter.
Right. Hannah's aunt, Laree Pigeon, says they are fully confident she is alive in LA, but not safe.
What makes you believe she's in extreme danger?
The family has fears of her being sex trafficked and being held against her will.
Without disclosing details that could jeopardize the case, Pigeon says people have most recently spotted the 30-year-old Maui woman around Metro's Union Station and, quote, it didn't look good. Before suddenly vanishing, Kobayashi was seen on video exploring
Can't hear.
Crypto.com Arena and back at LAX on November 11th, trying to rebook the she missed 3 days earlier. Then her phone went dead. Described as a responsible, level-headed woman who sticks to her plans, last week, family and friends shared with us her final strange text messages they say sound nothing like her. Deep hackers wiped my identity, stole all my funds. And I'm just really scared, love, and the redwoods if calling me. I risk my freedom if this goes wrong for me, hun. The day after Hannah disappeared, her dad got on a plane and Pigeon says was doing everything in his power to find her until he just couldn't take it anymore.
Mental illness is a thing. Sleep deprivation is a thing. Suicide is a thing. He never talked about himself. He never said if he was okay or not. It's almost like Hannah, if you met him, you just don't forget him. Yes, he was estranged from his daughter, but I would say it was more distant, and that guilt ate away at him as well. But he showed up when it mattered.
LAPD and the FBI, of course, have been on this case for the 2.5 weeks since she went missing. And more than donations to the GoFundMe, her family says they are in desperate need of more people volunteering their time to share her photo and her story in hopes of her coming home safe and sound soon. Now, if you or a loved one are feeling distressed, you can, of course, call the National Suicide Hotline. You can call or text them at 988 or go to 988lifeline.org. Reporting live here at LAX, I'm Haley Winslow, Fox 11 News.
Very sad update there, Haley. Thank you so much.
Ooh. So, yeah. Now, the thing is, yes, if they booked those flights when they were still together, then they will have been sat next to each other, of course, unless they managed to swap the seats when they got on or whatever. He obviously saw her on that flight. Did he not wonder why she wasn't on the second flight? Maybe she couldn't face getting on the second flight with him because he was a pain in the ass in the first flight. Maybe that's why she decided not to go on the second flight. So, again, the police will have more information we don't know about. I think the boyfriend is key one way or another. Whether he did anything to Hannah or not, I don't know. But it wouldn't be the first time, would it? It wouldn't be the first time that he did something. The ex-boyfriends did something. Unfortunately, that's a very scary time when you break up with somebody, boyfriend or girlfriend. Or maybe Hannah decided to go herself. I'll tell you my gut feeling. If we talk about gut feelings, and not because I know, because I don't know, is those texts were not sent by Hannah. Whatever. I'm not saying they were sent by the ex-boyfriend, but they weren't sent by Hannah, in my opinion. It reminds me so much of Anna Knežević, so reminiscent of the Anna Knežević case. But then I don't understand why Anna was sort of seen at that, on that YouTube video and things like that, So she obviously was alive up to a certain point, and maybe still is alive. Let's hope so. Maybe she has gone off with someone voluntarily. Maybe someone's just taken her phone off her and they're sending those texts, but she's still okay. But, we went all through this with Anna Knežević. I don't know if you remember, but, the texts that were sent in her case were a big thing. And we went through all that. We tried to be positive, and it was, maybe she is okay somewhere. Maybe she's just been kidnapped and she's been held somewhere, which obviously is horrible, but it's better than being dead, and there's a chance that you might escape from it. This just feels to me very much like the Anna Knezovich case, which of course didn't end well. But okay, I think that's it. I think that's all I've got to say. So it's the start of official Christmas tomorrow here on Vicky Marie Chats. I'd like to say I'm really planned for the advent calendar. That I haven't planned anything yet, but there'll be some fun things. We'll be looking at some true crime. No, I'm not going anywhere nice, Heather. I'm staying in now. I'm going to have a nice. I've been out and about this morning. Not anywhere nice, of course. If you watch it back to the beginning, you'll see where I've been today. That's it. Now I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to chill. The weather's nice, actually. It's 22 degrees. The sun's out. Might go on the roof and get a bit of sun. But no, I'm not going anywhere. No, I'm going to stay in casa. Are you going anywhere? I hope you've got a nice weekend planned. I hope you've all got a nice weekend planned. One way or another, even if the only nice thing about it is you'll be watching my videos. That's good, isn't it? I feel like I was going to say something else, but I can't remember what it was. Let's have a look. Let me just see. What else was I looking at? I mean, there's always so much to tell you. It's not often very positive, though, of course. Oh, God, well, the news headlines are all about the war or wars. I'm sick of seeing about these wars, actually, to be honest. Anything new on Twitter? No. So I'll be back tomorrow at some point. I'm not sure what time, or what I'll be talking about, but it'll be something when next time you see me on here, the Christmas tree will be up. Okay? So I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you. Yeah, get your Christmas trees in. The Devil Wears Prada. Is there a new Devil Wears Prada film out? I love that film with Meryl Streep. That's the Meryl Streep film, isn't it? It's a brilliant film. I'll see you soon. Take care. Until I see you again, may your God go with you. Thank you, guys. Bye.